Merry Christmas! Unless you're not watching this on Christmas. For Christmas, I decided to look at possibly the most famous Christmas special of all time, the Charlie Brown Christmas special. However, I will not be just looking at the show, I'll be looking at Charlie Brown just in general. It's Christmas, so I decided to cover as much as possible. Charlie Brown and Snoopy are one of those characters that just is never not popular. They're like Sherlock or Doctor Who. After 50 years, people are still in absolute love with them. Which is why it's weird that even though they've been around for over half a century, there's only one TV show ever made about these characters. The Charlie Brown and Snoopy show ran for 18 episodes during 1983 to 1985, and it was written by the original creator. And that is the first fact about Charlie Brown. Let's dive in. I'm from Ireland, and this cartoon was only referred to as Charlie Brown, but apparently its official name is The Peanuts, which is odd because the author absolutely detested that title. He said it was, quote, totally ridiculous. The Peanuts animated specials are based on the Peanut comic strips from October 2nd, 1950. The comic strip was created by Charles M. Schulz. The comic strip ended on February 13th, the year 2000. The strip ran in 2,600 papers daily. When the strip was released, it was read by 335 million people. The comic strip was available in 75 countries and translated into 21 languages. Peanuts is considered to be the most popular comic strip of all time. Snoopy has 7 siblings: Andy, Rover, Molly, Spike, Belle, Marbles, and Olaf. The strip was made up of 4 panels. This is standard procedure nowadays for comic strips. Okay, back to the title. It was originally going to be called Little Folks. Schulz hated the name Peanuts so much that it was intentionally never mentioned in any of the cartoon titles during his lifetime. Snoopy first appeared in the 3rd strip. Schulz produced every part of the comic himself. Despite how he looks, Charlie Brown isn't bald. His hair is transparent. In nearly all the animations, the adults are voiced by a trombone with a plunger. I wonder which one of the writers said that, and the rest of the writers just went, yeah, okay. Snoopy is based on the creator's dog, Spike. Snoopy was originally going to be called Sniffy. Charlie has never kicked a football in any of the stories. Peanuts' character appeared on the front cover of Time magazine in 1965. Snoopy is in all the action scenes in the animated films because he was the easiest to animate. Ronald Reagan said that he could relate to Charlie Brown. Would you care to elaborate? A black character called Franklin was added to the stories after Martin Luther King was assassinated. Would you believe there's fan fiction of Charlie Brown? And I know fan fiction gets really weird, so you're probably thinking, oh god, what am I going to do with this? They turned the story into Charlie Brown living in a post-apocalyptic world. Robot arm and everything. I don't know if this was done as a joke, but it's become really popular. There's books about it, there's comics. They even tried to make an animated film.
I'm going to finish what Armageddon started.
Check them out, they're weird. Okay, now let's look at the Charlie Brown Christmas. A Charlie Brown Christmas aired in 1965. It was the first Peanuts special, and it's considered to be the best Peanuts cartoon. Our Charlie Brown's Christmas was very unconventional for its time because it didn't have adult actors. The studio was worried about A Charlie Brown Christmas because it made references to the Bible. Oh yeah, because when has Christmas ever been related to religion? The studio insisted that A Charlie Brown Christmas have a laughter track, but the creator refused. The character, Linus, usually has a security blanket. If you're a fan of Charlie Brown, you obviously know this, but you may not know that the show actually coined the term security blanket. I actually have a friend with a security blanket. He had it until he was 13. In A Charlie Brown Christmas, Linus lets go of a security blanket when he utters the Bible verse, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy." Although jazz is used a lot in A Charlie Brown Christmas, the creator hated jazz. Charlie's love interest in A Charlie Brown Christmas is based on a girl that the creator, Charles M. Schulz, fancied when he was young. When Schulz proposed to the girl, he was turned down. Kathy Steinberg provides the voice of Sally. She was so young that she couldn't read, so all her lines were given to her verbally. The creator of this cartoon was certain it would fail. The studio executives hated A Charlie Brown Christmas because it was too slow. At the time, it was the longest Christmas special apart from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Our Charlie Brown Christmas discusses how Christmas has become overly commercial. To mock commercialization, Linus crashes into a Coca-Cola sign as soon as the show starts. The show was sponsored by Coca-Cola. Also, some scenes were cut to add in more commercials. Jeez, what were they taking? Irony steroids? None of the actors in A Charlie Brown Christmas were credited. This is the only cartoon where Lucy calls Charlie by his first name. In every other special, she calls him by his full name. Production of A Charlie Brown Christmas ended weeks before it premiered. In the cartoon, Snoopy's house is blue. In every other cartoon, his house is red. Okay, now let's look at the other cartoon specials. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown debuted in 1966. After It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown aired, children all over America sent candy to Charlie Brown because they felt bad for him.
Really? Jeez, how bad do you have to feel for somebody to send them candy when they're, you know, completely fictional?
When Kathy Steinberg was recording her lines as Sally in It's Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, her tooth became loose. The studio rushed her to record all of her lines as soon as possible because the sound equipment was so sensitive that her voice would sound different on a show if she lost her tooth. As Kathy finished her very last line, her tooth fell out seconds later. Charlie Brown's All-Stars debuted in 1966. This was supposed to be called Good Grief Charlie Brown. It was the first Peanuts special to credit the actors. It was a short summer Charlie Brown debuted in 1969. This is the only cartoon where Peppermint Patty calls Charlie by his real name. Normally, she calls him Chuck. The original creator thought the arm wrestling scene in It Was a Short Summer Charlie Brown was the best animated scene in all of the Peanuts films. A Boy Named Charlie Brown debuted in 1969. This was the first Peanuts film to have a theatrical release. Although A Boy Named Charlie Brown isn't as famous as the other cartoon, it's very important because it was the first cartoon where Charlie does his iconic You're Not Elected Charlie Brown was released in 1972. It was nearly going to be called You're Elected Charlie Brown. I've never heard of a film where the alternative title is the opposite of the title. You're Not Elected Charlie Brown was the anime debut of Snoopy's alter ego, Joe Cool. Snoopy Come Home debuted in 1972. Snoopy Come Home was the most unsuccessful film in the studio's history. It cost $1 million, but it only made a quarter of its money back. It was also the first Peanuts movie not to have a musical score, and it was the first Peanuts film not to have the words Charlie Brown in the title. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving debuted in 1973. In this cartoon, Peppermint and Marcy are voiced by male actors. It's a mystery Charlie Brown debuted in 1974. In this cartoon, Lucy offers legal counsel for 7 cents. Bon Voyage Charlie Brown and Don't Come Back debuted in 1980. This was the first Peanuts special where the adults speak. It was also the last theatrical feature to be overseen by the creator, Charles M. Schulz. Okay, now we're going to get into some really dark territory. Why Charlie Brown Why debuted in 1990. This cartoon is about Linus falling for a girl who has to go to hospital for cancer treatment. It was originally going to be a 5-minute educational video for young cancer patients. Eventually, it was developed into a 30-minute special. The executives of this cartoon were horrified by the subject matter, but they allowed it to be made because they were literally wrong about every other Charlie Brown special. Why Charlie Brown Why is the only Peanuts special where Linus' security blanket is never seen or mentioned. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown debuted in 1985. It was the first animated special where Snoopy spoke.
My stomach clock just went off. It's supper time. And Charlie Brown has forgotten to feed me.
That's exactly what we all thought Snoopy would sound like.
Exactly like that. And let's finish up with the Peanuts movie, which came out in 2015. In the Peanuts movie, none of the trees, clouds, or plants move to make it look like a still comic strip. The Peanuts movie came out 50 years after the first Peanuts film, A Charlie Brown Christmas. The Peanuts movie cost $99 million and made $246 million at the box office. The short Cosmic Scratastrophe was shown in cinemas before this film. It was the first Peanuts film in 35 years. In most countries, including where I live, the film was called Snoopy and Charlie Brown. This is really random. This has one of my favorite taglines in any movie. The tagline in this film is the story of an underdog and his dog. It took 9 years to make this film.
It was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Animated Motion Picture. It was also nominated for a All-Deaf Movie Award for Best Black Survivor in a Movie since the black character Franklin doesn't die? Is that an award now? It's a real thing? I'd never heard of that. At one point, Shermy says to Charlie Brown, I saw him first. This is actually true because Shermy was the first character to ever see Charlie Brown in the very first comic strip.
And finally, Charlie Brown's book report is on War and Peace. This was the writer's favorite novel. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had an amazing Christmas. Have some cake, have some chocolate, go nuts, don't stress about work, play with the kids, start a fire, whatever, just go wild. And let me know if there's any other videos you want me to do in the new year. To learn more facts, check out my books. They're available on Amazon on paperback and Kindle. Thanks for watching. See you again.